So Canon versus Nikon, which DSLR to buy in 2020? Each industry has rivals from Microsoft versus Apple to Marvel versus DC. In photography world, often Canon and Nikon are pitted against each other. Where do they stand this year? Let's explore some of the differences between the two brands and top Canon and Nikon DSLR cameras to buy in 2020. What brand to commit to will depend on personal preferences, ergonomics, availability of lenses, especially for your particular subject matter, and other small features that more advanced users care about, like flash sync, speeds, activation, lifespans, buffers, and more. So now let's jump into the topic, that is Canon versus Nikon. Canon and Nikon have long histories making both cameras and lenses. Although their beginnings were somewhat mirrored, Nikon was founded in 1917 as a manufacturer of lenses, not just for cameras, but also binoculars, microscopes, and more. The first camera, the Nikon 1, was released in 1984, and Nikon has continued to focus on imaging devices ranging from cameras and lenses to medical devices. Canon, on the other hand, was founded as a camera manufacturer in 1934, with some of its earliest lenses made by Nikon and later manufacturing its own lens lines. Canon has gone on to diversify across more electronics categories, including printers, projectors, and small devices such as calculators, manufacturing equipment, and more. So, by 1950s and 1960s, Canon and Nikon were firmly competing with each other, with both having popular rangefinder and film SLR cameras. Throughout the decades, there have been periods where each brand has seen success over the other, and both of them have eclipsed their other competitors, with the recent exception of Sony's entrance into the fray. Generally speaking, in recent years, the question of whether Canon or Nikon is the better camera brand and can best be answered with "that depends." Both brands have fantastic lines of cameras, with each having certain advantages over the other. Which one is best will largely depend on your own specific needs and definitely your priorities. That said, if you're trying to decide between the two, it's perhaps the best to look at specific comparable models in a few different prices levels and see what each of their strengths and weaknesses are.